Hey everyone, welcome to Talking Tokens, a podcast focused on interviewing the best crypto founders, market players, and up-and-coming startups that are changing the industry every single Tuesday and Thursday. I'm Jacqueline Melanik, your award-nominated host and former senior crypto reporter turned entrepreneur, and I'm excited to be here with you all. Now, let's get into it. Today's guest is Elena Schmalko, the ecosystem lead at Ton Foundation. The Open Network, also known as Ton, was created by the same founder of Telegram and is focused on bringing the Web3 ecosystem to Telegram's 900 million users. I want to make sure I get that correct, through its own blockchain and ecosystem. I'm excited to have Elena on today to talk about everything Ton related. So Elena, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah. And to start off, I'd love to know a little bit about you, how you ended up at Ton, and what was your background before this?
Yeah, I mean, my background is very diverse, I would say, and may, sound very unexpected and strange. So I actually have both my bachelor's and master's degree in international relations. So that's where my journey started. But then I very quickly entered the business sphere, let's say, being involved in a series of startups, specifically Web3 startups, of course. And then I also used to run my own accelerator for early stage Web3 founders. And this is exactly how I met some people from TF, Ton Foundation. That's how we call it. And I actually got super excited about the ecosystem because at that time I was, looking for different opportunities in the Web3 space in general. And then I was kind of trying to compare different ecosystems from multiple different parameters. And I saw that Ton does have its unique value proposition over any other blockchain out there. And this is exactly how I, let's say, entered the ecosystem, being now the ecosystem lead, meaning that I'm responsible for the general ecosystem support towards startups, builders, founders, building something great and I hope sustainable on Ton.
Mm-hmm. And Ton this past year has seen tremendous growth. I believe its TVL at the time of recording surpassed 750 million. And it wasn't always like that. At the beginning of the year, I think it was around 13 million. So what do you kind of attribute to this growth, especially in 2024?
Yeah, this is exactly right. So I think we started with as little as 15 million in January of 2024. This is how we started the year. And this is really unprecedented. Like nothing of this kind had ever happened to Ton before. I would say like March of 2024. So it can be largely attributed to the appearance of native USDT on our chain, of course, and then all different incentive programs that we've launched, including the Open League, about which I would love to tell you more. Definitely after the native USDT appeared, we launched an incentive program where we actually, and it's still going on, we're now at phase 2. So we're boosting the pools of Ton USDT on major dexes in the Ton ecosystem, namely DDAS and Socialfi. This is something that apparently and quite evidently attracts a lot of interest, financial interest, liquidity to those pools. And then once again, the Open League, which is an initiative where we sustain the value and the growth of tokens in the Ton ecosystem, by the same token boosting the pools with these tokens on dexes. And then obviously the natural, the organic, and the so much expected growth of other DeFi protocols. And then the tap to earn trend, about which I'm sure we're going to talk today, which not really attracted a lot of liquidity yet, right? Because not all those apps that have introduced the tap to earn trend are on chain yet. Most of them are still off chain apps, but still it helped us attract a lot of interest, a lot of users, both off chain and on chain. So a lot of stuff really we need to, structure it somehow. But yeah, a lot of different elements I would say that have largely contributed to this general picture of enormous and such impressive growth of the ecosystem.
How much of the ecosystem growth do you think is coming from Telegram's users versus people in the Web3 space or people in neither industries that are just looking at it?
Once again, it depends on which metric we take. So for TVL, for sure, these are not Telegram users yet, just because hard, right? And people are not used to putting their savings into crypto, into something risky, into something that they do not understand yet. And this is still like a very large task, like a challenge that we need to undertake as an ecosystem. So I would say these are largely people who have been in the Ton ecosystem for quite a while and who just apparently saw new opportunities, once again linked to USDT and then the Open League and other things like those programs that DeFi protocols have launched recently. And then people who are actually bridging liquidity from other chains, for example, Ethereum or BSC, because we now have like Ton official bridge. It supports bridging from Ethereum and BSC yet, and then more bridging solutions are coming to the ecosystem soon. So I would say these are definitely mostly Web3 people, like those who are familiar with DeFi in general. But in terms of the wallets, of course, we have seen a great surge coming from Telegram users, indeed.
Mm-hmm. So on the note of the wallets, can you kind of explain to us, like, what does that entail for our listeners who don't really know what that is and how that's bringing in Telegram people?
Yeah, 100%. So, in brief, you can use your crypto wallet for different purposes. The first thing and the easiest thing is just to authorize in an app with your wallet. And it can also be counted in the number of on-chain wallets, like let's say connected to decentralized applications, right? So for example, you make a check-in through authorization with a crypto wallet. What it takes for you is just to have it and probably to have some money on its balance, right? But then you start getting involved like more in depth, making transactions, by the same token, making these daily check-ins on-chain, through just sending a very low value transaction. And then you can buy something, you can buy an asset and hold it, you can invest it somewhere. But these are just general terms. If we want to take a very practical example, let's just stick to the wallet inside Telegram, which I think is also a very exciting topic to discuss, because we see the wallet as an entry point, as a window of opportunity for us to onboard people from Telegram into Ton. So how it usually works. I know that largely your audience probably resides in the US. So unfortunately, this is not an opportunity for your listeners, just because the wallet in Telegram is not, unfortunately, accessible for people in the US because of different regulatory purposes, not only in the US, by the way, but also in some other restricted countries that we can look up on the official website of Wallet. But let's say we are somewhere in Europe, I live in Italy, so let's take the example of Italy. So if the wallet is already rolled out in this specific region, it means that I can easily discover it in the settings of Telegram, in the settings section. So I will see the wallet there, and it actually allows me to send some crypto, like one USDT or one Ton coin, or even less, or even more, to my friends, to my Telegram contacts, which is super cool, right? Because you just open a conversation with a friend, you click on attachments, and now, apart from seeing attached picture, a file, something else like your geolocation, whatever, you can also see the wallet there. You can tap on that button and send some crypto to your friend. Another question is how exactly you're going to top up your balance, and you can easily do it with your credit card, on a P2P market, etc. So there are different ways. This is essentially a custodial solution, a custodial wallet, right? So people do not hold custody over their funds here. And then inside the wallet, there is also a self-custody part to it, which is called Ton Space. You need to enable it in settings separately. Ton Space is like your MetaMask inside Telegram, right? So you hold the custody over your funds. And with this wallet, with Ton Space, you can indeed authorize in different decentralized applications built inside Telegram in the form of Telegram mini apps and on Ton as a Web3 element to it, right? So just imagine you open, an NFT marketplace in the form of a Telegram mini app. You connect your wallet in one single click. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to leave Telegram. You're still in the same messenger. And now you can even close the tab, kind of to roll it down without, and then still, for example, I don't know, chatting with your friends and then opening up this tab again, which is the new functionality that Telegram has rolled out very recently. So you authorize on that NFT marketplace, and then in one single click, you, for example, buy an NFT, you now hold it on your wallet, on your crypto wallet by Telegram, and then you can, for example, share it with your friend without the need to go anywhere else to do any complex stuff. This is exactly the value proposition. And then we have like an entire range of different applications like games, Socialfi apps, DeFi for different investment opportunities, and so on and so forth. So this is all about it, and it all exists in one single place where those 900 million people, as you said, but actually even more now. I think it's already 950 mil. So these people, they are actually in one single place, and we just need to, show them the opportunities that they can tap into through their crypto wallet, topping it up and starting doing something.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the sectors that you brought up was Socialfi, and I feel like that's an easy and obvious migration from Telegram users into the crypto ecosystem. Are you seeing a lot of traction on that front?
Actually, not as much as in the tap to earn trend, to be completely transparent. Like Socialfi is a super, I think, promising sector, just because imagine like we have the social graph of Telegram and all that basic functionality that the team of the messenger has been building with an enormous speed. Like literally they are rolling out new features and updates every single week recently, which is super exciting. So imagine we have like this basic functionality and the social graph, which unfortunately is not as, let's say, vast as, for example, social graph of Facebook, right? Just because the data being collected is much, smaller in scope, just because of privacy foundations of the messenger. But anyway, so we have the social graph and we have the basic functionality. Why don't we start launching something on top of it, right? We can launch a, Web3 TikTok inside Telegram. We can replicate the functionality of Friend Tag, which was quite a successful app in the Web3 space in general. We can, for example, build a Web3 link tree, like your social profile inside Telegram with all the links, with an opportunity to monetize chats and calls. Imagine you set a price for, 1 hour of a call with you if you're an expert in some specific field, right? And then the amazing thing about it is that it's all easily shareable. Like you create a link, you send it to your friends or to your community, to your chat, and then you manage to attract like a lot of people in a bundle instead of, trying to cherry pick them to find them somewhere else. This is exactly what we are trying to leverage right now, because we have like the social potential of Telegram, and then we have all those opportunities that Web3 in general offers.
What do you think is... No, that definitely makes sense. What do you think is kind of driving growth on the tap to earn front? I know gaming and DeFi are also popular or growing segments on TON. What do you think is really driving momentum behind those three areas?
Well, the tap to earn trend is definitely something that everyone's talking about. It's a very serious mistake to think that is the only thing that TON offers. I want to highlight it from the very first moment, right? This is definitely a trend that we couldn't help, avoiding, right? Just because this is an amazing opportunity to onboard a lot of people into TON specifically. So how it all started, it was like January of this year, when Notcoin, one of the major projects on TON, that's one of the, let's say, first teams that started building something in the ecosystem. So they had the first launchpad on TON, the first Quest platform. So that was a very talented team that decided to launch something super simple and with a very large potential of onboarding people. So the first time I talked to the founder of this project, I didn't believe that thing would work out. I thought that was so Yeah, I mean, yeah, like people would just be what, like tapping on a coin. Like, are you serious? We have, this complex DeFi stuff. We have exciting mid-core games. Like, we need something more valuable and more sustainable. That was my initial thought. But then when I saw the numbers, which were actually growing so fast, I understood, like, okay, that had probably been my mistake to think so. Like from January on, like Notcoin managed to gather a lot of people. Like the total number of the audience, I think, amounted to 35 million or even more during the mining stage. And then like people were first tapping on a coin, but then essentially getting involved into different interesting tasks, which actually opened them up all those opportunities in the Ton ecosystem. Because imagine you open the quest section in the Notcoin app, and then you see the simple tasks like go to DEX Socialfi and make a swap. And then you get points, which are going to be then converted into NOT, which is the token of the project, right? So once the project goes on chain, go to NFT marketplace and buy an NFT. Go to this game and, I don't know, do something there, upgrade your character there, you're going to get more points. Then also take part in this competition, join a squad, and then compete with your friends. Share it with your friends and get more points. Yeah. So it's all about like, this social element, like sharing the referral program. That rewards. People understood that, okay, right, this is going to bring me money, right? Because, I mean, we were talking about a large airdrop from day one. Notcoin team never promised anything because it was probably nothing, and it still is, even though people received on average $200 per wallet in a community airdrop that the team made actually at the time of listing. So that was the first amazing and super unexpected case, at least for me. And then the entire series of similar apps appeared, even before the listing of Notcoin, like Hamster Combat, YesCoin, AppSwap, Hackathon. That's not a tap to earn. It's rather like a play to airdrop game, but still also very simple. So I would say simplicity here is definitely one of the ingredients of success, just because apparently we don't need anything complex here. In terms of onboarding, then definitely the question arises, like, what exactly we're going to do with these people, how we're going to retain them, and where exactly we're going to direct them and their money. Because this is also an important question, right? We want to grow like the number of on-chain wallets, we want to grow the TVL. How can we do it? Using, like leveraging this amazing user base that those tap to earn apps have brought us. Mm-hmm. This is still an open question on which we're like working super hard every day.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's the answer to that?
Yeah, so there are different like ways and scenarios. I would say the first perspective here is the team itself. Like each team of those that I named has quite a complex and advanced roadmap ahead. And this is also very important, you know, just to create like demand for further use of the project and of the token, of course, to avoid the situation where people on the listing day just go and sell, right? This is definitely a risk that they are undertaking, announcing this large community airdrop, because unlike the majority of tokens that are being launched in the Web3, like in general, those teams, they commit to giving a very substantial part of the token supply to the community from day one, right? So for Notcoin, that number, can you imagine, was like 90%, almost 90% of the token supply went to people, to the community, to early adopters. Like for Hackathon, the number is smaller. I believe it's somewhere around from 40 to 45%. We will need to check, but it's somewhere there. Other teams, I'm not sure they already announced the like precise percentage, but still, these are still large numbers. So every team, they need to make sure that people see the long-term value and they do not sell once they get this kind of free money, right? So they were just involving into something super simple, like tapping or performing these tasks or playing with their friends. That was all about fun. It was not about, you know, doing complex actions on some DeFi protocol, just as so many L2s in the Ethereum ecosystem are doing right now. It's nothing about it. It's about fun, simplicity, you know, and entertainment in general. So on the day of listing, people, we need to make sure that people do not sell, they hold the token, and then they get involved in all those different activities and new products that the team is going to launch. So for Hackathon, for example, their roadmap includes like building an e-commerce platform, a quest platform. For Notcoin, they announced a few months ago that they were going to build like a trading platform. They're going to act as a game launchpad, etc. etc. They launched the accelerator recently. They continue to monetize their traffic. So it's all about creating value through various different means. For each team, it should be something unique. I mean, the general thing, like it's very hard to be super innovative here. So it's all about like the same kind of products, but still with some differences. So this is the part of the teams, right? And then we have like our own role here as Tom Foundation. Our mission in general is to support builders and founders and to launch different incentive programs for the entire ecosystem so that users and founders are motivated to stay. Definitely here we can act like short term, just directly giving incentives, but then acting long term as well, creating this long term value. So in the short term, what we want to do and we are committed to doing is actually to diversifying and enhancing the DeFi sector on Ton in general. I would say we're quite well covered in terms of the fundamentals. Like we have two amazing DEXs, Tonfi and DDust. We have perp DEXs, Stormtrade, Trezor. We have a lending protocol, EVA. We have liquid staking protocols, etc., etc. So like the basic layer is there. What I want to do now is to build something on top to create this like yield generating opportunities, like, organic yield generating opportunities for the users, so that it's not about those artificial rewards that we are providing just as any other ecosystem does. Like, I don't know, take like Starknet Spring or whatever. Like, this is all about artificially creating incentives. This is what we're doing, and we do not deny it, right? This is something that's going to end at a certain point. So what I want to do is create this like organic yield, which is why we are tightly working with new and very talented teams. We've just completed the evaluation of hackathon teams. We have 28 amazing winners out of more than 1,000 applications. That was the absolute record for the Ton chain in general this year. So actually, I would say a little less than 50% of the teams, they are building something in DeFi, which is super exciting and which is indeed very much in line with what we actually expected. So we want to continue supporting teams here and then providing rewards for sure in the short term, so that, just to show the user that there is value, there is an opportunity to earn something, to get involved, and then to stay. So this is, as always, a combination of efforts of us being the organization that is responsible for, leading this growth and creating, very basic fundamentals, the infrastructure for this growth. Infrastructure, I mean, from the business side as well, not the technical infrastructure, because we're not involved in technical stuff here.
Right.
And then the effort of teams that are building something on top of what we're creating for them.
This podcast is sponsored by Galaxy. If you're immersed in the world of Web3, Galaxy is a name you need to know. As a decentralized super app with an impressive 21 million users boasting over 100 million monthly transactions, Galaxy is elevating its impact with Gravity, the magnet chain for Web3. Gravity is designed for full chain abstraction, zero knowledge proof-based privacy, and rapid transaction speeds, all coming together to offer an unparalleled user experience. Gravity opens the door for developers to effortlessly build on the largest on-chain distribution platform, and for users, it promises an even smoother, more secure journey through Web3. It's not about being on-chain, it's about being on the right chain every single time. Galaxy is on a mission to onboard the world to Web3, and Gravity is the magnetic force that will propel the vision forward. Ready to launch your Web3 journey? Build the future on Gravity. Visit gravity.xyz for more information. For the other hackathon winning teams, what were they focused on? If they were not focused on DeFi, what did you guys find interesting that you were like, yeah, these are the teams that won the competition?
Yeah, so we essentially had four tracks: DeFi, social Web3 or Socialfi that we already covered. We had gaming and onboarding apps, which is exactly like for gaming, we actually considered like mid-core games, hyper casual games as well. And then onboarding tools are all those like tap to earns and similar stuff that enters into the category. And then the fourth category was indeed e-commerce that we also, I think, touched upon.
Yeah. Telegram is obviously for a bunch of different people for a bunch of different reasons, right? And Ton has almost a direct access to that whole broad base of users. And I feel like not everyone is just like financially driven, looking for financial incentives, etc. And so like the tap to earn, the DeFi side of things, that might be more of that. What do you see are other sectors or areas that would bring in people who don't necessarily want to own or trade crypto, but you want them to explore the like whole blockchain world in general?
I would say those are definitely games. Like people love games. People love to be entertained. What could be cooler than playing a nice and easy and enjoyable game with your friends? And this is exactly what we are trying to incentivize here. Even within that tap to earn trend, there are like quite a few games that have a very entertaining gameplay. Like take Hamster Combat. People love exploring the new cards, finding new daily combos. Like I have a friend that actually has a very large Google spreadsheet where she calculates how much she would earn on opening each card and striking a daily combo, which is super exciting and came as a complete surprise because she's like nothing, like she's not in crypto. She has nothing to do with it. But she's trying to get involved. And so, it's all about just having fun. So games would be number one. And then secondly, Socialfi, which I already covered. I think this is super exciting just because it's all about communication and getting an additional value out of it. You can now monetize your audience, for example, being, a channel owner, whatever, or being an expert in a particular field. You do not need to go through a very long process of, setting up your account on some freelancer marketplace or whatever. You can do it directly in Telegram. You can actually, it really depends on the demand and on interest, but I would say that gaming, Socialfi, and then different utility apps. For some people, in a series of countries, it's now very hard, for example, to, even pay for your Steam account with fiat, right? Just because it's, for example, restricted in a particular region. So why don't you do it with crypto inside Telegram in a couple of clicks? Utility here is also a case in point, buying different gift cards and then subscriptions, once again, topping up your Steam account or Netflix account, whatever. So many use cases. And indeed, the appearance of native USDT has opened up many more payment use cases specifically.
Yeah, no, that would make sense, especially on the payments front, that it would provide accessibility in places where it's not necessarily available as readily, especially in very first world countries where we don't even think about these things. But for many, it is top of mind. Yeah. What is Telegram's role in the Ton ecosystem? I feel like this is a question I should have asked in the beginning, but obviously it's started by the same founder. They are separate entities, but they almost, I would argue, work together, right? So how do you kind of look at Telegram in the broader picture for Ton?
Sure. So actually, the official formula here is official strategic partnership, which was announced on the main stage of Token 2049 in Singapore almost 1 year ago in September of 2023, which essentially means that Ton became the official Web3 partner of Telegram. So any Web3 initiative that the messenger plans to launch would most probably be related to Ton as their partner. And then also this wallet that we already discussed inside Telegram, which is being built by an independent team, by an independent startup that is a portfolio company of Top Labs, which is the major venture builder on Ton. So yeah, they are not officially affiliated with Telegram at all. This is just an independent team that also has their own apparently channel of communication with Telegram, because I mean somehow they did appear in the interface of the messenger. And then as far as we are concerned, we are definitely sustaining this communication with Telegram team. Like, for example, not me personally, but I would say that we're still keeping it very separate. So we are, as Ton Foundation, as a nonprofit organization responsible for the Web3 part, but we're not building like Telegram, we're not building something together. It's just, two separate organizations that are pursuing kind of different but similar goals. So we are majorly focused on the Web3 part only, and specifically on creating this favorable environment for builders. And then Telegram, they have their own very complex and very effective roadmap,
right?
Actually, about which we just learn as anyone else from the news, like from Pavel Durov's channel on Telegram, and now he's actually also on Twitter. This is actually how it works. So once again, keeping it very separate, but very much aligned in terms of the overall mission.
Are there plans to integrate Ton onto Telegram? Because I use Telegram, but I have never seen any bridge or reference to point me to Ton. There's been nothing there for me, unless I'm not looking correctly, to say hey, go check this out. We've partnered with them, etc.
This is exactly, you're in the US, right? So you cannot see the
okay, that would explain it.
Which you can enter.
Okay.
So yeah, wallet is definitely one of them, just because people can see the wallet one day and just be willing to discover what it is and how to use it. Yeah. What value it can bring.
You need the wallet to access the whole blockchain. You can't even explore it.
No, of course not. Not necessarily. Look, so the mini apps, so how it usually works, you can connect any wallet on Ton with a mini app that actually has Ton Connect as this integration protocol. So you don't need to have the wallet in Telegram, because this is just one of the wallets that exists in the ecosystem. We have an entire line of great wallets like MyTon Wallet, TonKeeper, Ton Hub. Those are self-custody wallets that have actually existed on Ton from day one. So how it usually works, you open a mini app, and then you connect any wallet that you have or that you want to set up to use this app. Another question is how to discover these apps, right?
Yeah, can the US people discover it as well?
Yeah. No, this is actually the same for everyone.
Okay.
And that's a hurdle, right? So, you don't need your Telegram wallet to discover mini apps, and you can use mini apps regardless of the fact that you don't have the wallet in Telegram. So how to discover mini apps? Well, obviously from Telegram channels, communities, chats where those apps appear and are promoted, someone refers to them, and then you would probably open it if you're interested and start using it, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is if some of your friends invite you to start using the app through this sharing link or referral program. But then it really depends on the strategy of Telegram, because Pavel Durov has recently announced that they are planning to launch an app store inside Telegram, which one may assume is going to appear in the interface of the messenger. But what I would like to highlight now is that the place to go right now for anyone who is interested in the Ton ecosystem and in those mini apps that I've been talking about is Telegram App Center that already exists. That's an independent project, which is also related to Ton Foundation. So we very closely work with the team. So once again, it's called Telegram App Center. It's underscore bot inside Telegram. And that's a ready catalog of Ton apps inside Telegram. So you can just open it right now.
Should I do it?
You should go,
Let's see.
there and then discover exciting apps in the Ton ecosystem, including DeFi, including Tap to Earn, including media games, utility, Socialfi, whatever. There are different categories. There are different types of featuring for these apps. So it's the main discoverability tool for mini apps right now. And then there was also news that Telegram App Center would appear inside Ton space. So you remember when I was describing like the configuration of wallet inside Telegram, there was this self-custody part to it, which is Ton space. So there was an announcement in Hong Kong that a few months ago that inside the Ton space, users would be able to discover Telegram App Center as a native button. It hasn't happened yet, so we're still waiting for the news, but that would definitely be an opportunity to leverage.
I just looked and I couldn't find it.
No, I would say I
think we're going to have to do a little tutorial, maybe in a follow-up episode, but I think
it's very simple. You just need to type like TAPPS underscore.
Oh, okay. So it would be something I would search and then it would. All right. Got it. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You need to search it because that's a Telegram bot that you need to open. You need to open the mini app.
Okay. Got it.
But you should do it.
All right. We will do it. Elena, one of my last major questions for you is obviously Ton has seen tremendous growth this year. It's done pretty well. But what do you think are still some challenges or roadblocks that you really want to address as an ecosystem lead?
Look, so definitely the, once again, open question for us remains like what exactly we're going to do with all those users and with all this liquidity that we successfully managed to attract through this reward and incentive program for USDT, for other tokens in the ecosystem. Because yes, this growth has been enormous. We are super proud and super impressed by our amazing projects in the ecosystem and by our own efforts, of course. But what's next? And so once again, the bet and the efforts would be on the DeFi sector, just because we want to redirect this liquidity. Those, not all those $750 million in TVL that we have right now, but at least like a substantial part of it into DeFi protocols so that people see that they can actually get yield on Ton, but in some other way, not just, farming Ton coin in Ton USDT pools. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is those retail users that we also discussed. Not all of them are interested in investment as such, right? That can still be very tricky, risky, complex. This is not something that everyone loves and would want to get involved into. What can we do with them? We can educate them about crypto, but then we can also, create, once again, cool games, Socialfi, utility and payment opportunities for them so that they can stay. And by the same token, as they, get value from different Web2 services, they can do it in Web3 as well, just, always getting something on top, whether that's a financial value or that's like your ownership, which is definitely something that we're all so much excited about in the Web3. So the challenges are there and we are ready to, just take them and do something great together with those teams that are building in the ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens over the coming months and what pans out on that front. Elena, my last major two questions for you, or I guess not major, minor questions for you are, what else are you watching in the crypto ecosystem right now outside of everything we've talked about?
Well, it's very hard because, when you are so much, so much
hyper-focused,
it's so hard to, keep track of anything else. No, but of course, I'm tightly watching what's happening with the Bitcoin ecosystem right now, with Ethereum in general. So I'm really curious to see which L2s are going to win over the others. And then, Ethereum ETF is something that, has been on the agenda recently. Also something very exciting because we all are craving for institutional money in crypto. And then what else? Like, I'm actually very curious to see how all those different incentive programs that other ecosystems used to launch and are still launching are going to work out in the long term. And, just to compare the numbers, Solana ecosystem is something absolutely great and absolutely amazing. Honestly, would love to, replicate the practices of, for example, organizing hackathons and retaining also something we are working on. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the narratives, like AI, once again, L2s on Bitcoin as well. This is something that, I mean, has been on the agenda for quite a while, but not super related to Ton, but still very, very exciting and definitely something to look at and keep track of.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching those things as well. Last thing, Elena, can you leave us with a piece of advice, something that you've carried with you throughout your time in the crypto world?
Advice. You mean for the end users or for projects or for
It's just
whoever?
something that maybe you've been following or like that you would say to someone else if they need to hear it.
I mean, my advice is, to be very careful in crypto in general. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then find something that excites you most. Whether it's, like a proper job in crypto or a proper particular protocol that you want to get involved into. I mean, just have fun. Carpe diem, like we want to use it, to the fullest. And crypto offers so many opportunities that we don't want to miss them.
Yeah, I love that. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you too. It's been a pleasure.